morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Joey.
Joe, where's your mic?
I have such a problem with my microphones. I'm Joey Evans.
Is he? You just forget that you need a microphone
Like a
sometimes.
professional performer.
I know. I don't know what is wrong with me.
Professional
Performer.
I was like, you can really see
person.
me well. Fine.
Anyway, hey, it's a new day. Before we get to the news, though, I do want to tell everyone out here that today is March 13th, 2025, and one thing that's happening today at noon Eastern Standard Time is the Jack Vassell Memorial Fund auction is going off, or launching. The Jack Vassell Fund is a fund I started 14 years ago, actually.
Wow.
So it helps people who have major catastrophes in their life that are not of their own making, like a fire burning your house down or some major medical thing happening. And we've helped hundreds of people over the years, and we do that with money that is raised now. So the way this auction works is you can go in there and you can put up items, and then people bid on them, and instead of paying you, they pay the fund, and then you send them those items. Or you can go in there and bid on items. One of the items I know is a giant box, or in this case, 2 giant boxes of games coming to you. So go in there, bid. Go in there, put up items. Tell publishers that they need to put up items. There's some pretty impressive stuff. Item number 2 is a rare Ticket to Ride item. And there is, and then just basically spread the word about the list. So this is going up on Board Game Geek at noon. I'll try to put up a note on this channel when it happens. So that's coming later today, and also directly after this, we're doing a live RPG. We're going to continue our session of that, and then this afternoon we'll be reposting our top 10 board game wishes that we did last week at Dice Tower West. So here we go. Let's take a look now, though, at the news. So Dice Tower news as of March 13th, 2025. First of all, Gamma. Don't get used to the word Gamma. As a side note, I just got a note from them. They're taking feedback. They're thinking about changing their name.
Interesting.
I think the reason they're doing that is because I think it was a Game and Manufacturers Association.
Yeah.
And now it is Game and Manufacturer and Publisher and Retailer and designer and all that. I would assume. So anyhow, that's why I did it.
Gamma pa malaga.
Whoops.
That sounds better to you.
Sorry, we're jumping too far into this. Anyway, this I was like, why did I move the bald-headed man there at the bottom? That's because I knew our face would cover him up. But that's Stefan Feld.
They
announced
Wilson
their
from
2025 Origin Hall of Fame inductees. So 2 of the inductees are 2 party games, Codenames and Time's Up.
Very nice, yes.
So Time's Up,
I approve.
they said it's the gold standard for charade-style party games, and Codenames. Yeah, those are 2 great games.
Yes,
Agreed.
absolutely.
They also had 3 people. The bald-headed man right above me, who's taller than I am, Stefan Feld. Everyone knows him because of Castles of Burgundy, but he has many, 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 many other games. 3 Spiel des Jahres nominees, over 60 published games.
Wow.
48 of them city named. Then Susan McKinley Ross, best known for designing Quirkle. So over there, and she's a dozen game designs underneath her belt. And then I don't actually know the last person very well. That's Ryo Mizuno. He is a Japanese writer behind the legendary Record of Lodoss War, which they said pioneered a unique style of RPG storytelling called replays. So he had a big influence on the Japanese RPG scene. And when I looked him up, it also looks like he has written a lot for computer games, too.
Oh, wow.
So that
I
is...
don't know. I've never played that Record of Lodoss War game.
Oh, you've heard of it?
I've heard of it. It's an RP. I know it from an RPG video game point of view.
Oh, okay.
And I never played it. I don't know what that replays idea meant. I wasn't sure I understood what that was. But, he seems to be a very influential personality in that world. So video games and board games share so much DNA anyway that it makes sense.
They also announced their slate of award winners. Hang on, I'm trying to figure out how to get... There we go. Slate of award winners. But we'll get to that later.
Yes.
Somehow a Stonemaier thing got in between these 2 pieces
All these
of
award
news.
winners are from one company.
All right.
Skip ahead and come back if you want.
Yeah, I could skip it. Let's do that.
Shoot.
There we go.
There we go. So the Origins Awards have been announced, and celebrating 50 years of gaming. The 50th Origins is here. The 50th Origins Awards better be decent. Well, you know what? They're not bad. We have mocked the Origins Awards for many years.
Not this year.
And for good reason. So we'll just go through the finalists here. In the co-op, they haven't announced the winners yet. That will happen at Origins itself. The nominees for co-op/solo: Bomb Busters, Fellowship of the Ring, Trick Taking, Slay the Spire, Ultimatch, The Wolves, A Gentle Rain, Wilmot's Warehouse, Marvel United Multiverse. That one shouldn't be in there because that's a remake, but whatever. Daybreak. 9 out of 10 ain't bad. I'll give it to them. Right?
That's very, very good. Yeah, that's very good.
For Gateway, I'm surprised they actually used the word Gateway, but that's fine.
Me too.
For Gateway, Captain Flip, Castle Combo, River Valley Glassworks, Seaside, YRO. I don't know how to pronounce that. Gnome Hollow, Explorers of Navoria, Trio, and River of Gold. River Gold shouldn't be in this category.
Explorers of Navoria. That surprised me.
That one probably shouldn't be in this one either, but whatever. I mean, they're still good games.
Yeah, really good.
For party games, Caution Signs, Change My Mind, Flip 7,
Yeah.
Hurt Party, Ito. Yes. This game is killer. Tiger Banana Pancake, Right Wrong. No, I'm sorry, that's the game of the company. Cloud 9, A Game of Wonderful Things, Ghost Can't Draw, and Things and Rings.
Okay, all players all over this list.
Yeah.
Heavy Strategy, Arcs, Dune, War for Arrakis, Endeavor Deep Sea, SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, Andromeda's Edge, Rockard 1977, Ascending Empires, Zenith Edition, Unconscious Minds, Prime Minister from GMT Games, Lord of the Rings Duel.
There's a tremendous list of games.
It's a wide swath.
It is. I'm a little surprised. So there's 2 games on this list from Play to Z.
Yes.
And in this particular case, specifically the Ascending Empires wasn't delivered till January.
Okay.
What was the other one?
Or no, it was delivered in December. I'm sorry, but barely got out there.
Barely.
Right?
Okay.
But
I guess they're counting it.
Well, yeah, they can because they're very strict on calendar year.
What was the other one from Play to Z?
It was in the other category. It was that the one I can't pronounce. The 3 letters.
YRO.
YRO.
Ero.
Okay,
I don't know what. I don't know how you say it.
Okay.
Then they have Light Strategy. Boop. The Halls. Again, I'm not real keen on these reprints.
Yeah.
But whatever. Confusing Lands. Creature Caravan. I'm a little confused why Creature Caravan is
What
in a
is this
different
called?
category.
Light Strategy? Right.
Light Strategy.
It's Creature Caravan, but then in Gateway they had River of Gold. There's like I don't know. They seem to be on the same level. Anyway, that's Fromage, Far Away, Lynx. That's another Play to Z game.
Yeah.
Zoomies. See, Zoomies would go in Gateway games for sure.
Yeah.
Star Realms Academy. That's a kid's game.
Yeah.
Should also be in that.
Okay.
And Wondrous Creatures. So there's some category mix-ups here, but you know what? This is still much better than normal.
Simplify a little bit of those categories, like Gateway and Light Strategy.
Yeah.
What's the line there?
Exactly.
They also have a constructible category. That's all TCG stuff. Randomized category, miniature games.
I want to hear every one of them.
Well, then you're going to have to wait till another time because what we're doing is we're going back to Stonemaier.
Let's go. Have they made money this year?
The answer is yes.
What?
So Stonemaier is one of the few companies, I believe there's like less than 5, who releases their numbers from the previous years. I only say less than 5 because I only know 2 off the top of my head. It's Stonemaier and Steve Jackson. Steve Jackson has shareholders, so he has to do it. Stonemaier says he has shareholders or whatever, but he's just doing it. He's like trying to be as transparent as he can. So what we've learned is that if you ever design a game for Stonemaier, you'll be a happy person. Because their revenue last year was $23.7 million.
Right.
Million. A lot of money.
Clearly not what they made. That is not profit. That's revenue. But even their worst selling games, because he publishes the number of copies that every game has sold, life, time, I believe it is.
Right, so we can look at the games that came out last year.
Even the worst one ever, Pendulum, some of those like lesser, there's still a solid few print runs of any other company's game.
That's right. His worst one, Smitten, which I did believe came out last year, or maybe came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it's like a tiny little pack of cards.
That sold 15,000. Last year, Stamp Swap, which came out, and I liked it, but it wasn't amazing. It's definitely in his lower tier. No one's talking about it. Sold 34,000 units.
Right.
That's
now,
crazy.
on the other hand, Wormspan, and this is the big news. Wormspan came out last year, and it has already sold 303,396. That's crazy.
So the takeaway lesson is actually, if you're going to publish a game with Stonemaier, make sure it has the word span in it.
Yeah, so FinSpan obviously came out this year, so there's no numbers on that yet, but I'm curious if it will overpass. I didn't think Wormspan had sold that much.
That's wild.
It is.
That's 1/3 of a million copies sold already.
Yep. Now, Wingspan
People love their worms.
and its
And their
expansions has sold 2.4 million. So that's pretty good.
That's plus expansions.
Expeditions has been out now for 2 years, right? It came out in 23.
I was surprised by these numbers. That did not do that well.
70,000. Well, comparatively.
Comparatively.
77,500.
I'm surprised by that. I think it might be part of that might be due to the title. Expeditions is not a great title for that game. It was uninspired. I'll put it that way.
yeah.
It's still crazy to see all these numbers here. 559,000 copies of Scythe.
Also, the Libertalia reprint did not do particularly well. It did fine, like 50,000, right?
62,000.
62.
Yeah. But
But, you know,
But Viticulture, is that a reprint or is that like total Viticulture sold 266?
I'm guessing total.
Huh.
And there's quite a few lines of that.
That's
it was
true.
that. It was then Essential Edition. Well,
Okay,
no,
that
it was
makes
normal, Grande one,
Yeah.
Essential. He's not. I doubt this includes the expansions, but maybe.
Okay.
he also announced some other things they did in 2024. They released their first food product, April Fool's Chocolate. I think we talked about them. He also said for the first time, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the news, they started releasing information about a game early. Usually he says, the game's done, pre-order it. But they have a game coming up called Vantage, which they start releasing stuff about that last year. They also last year bought the whole world of Tokaido, and that's coming out this April.
Right.
And they have flat rate shipping that you can get from their games from their web store. He definitely has left Kickstarter to dust. He's one of the pioneers of Kickstarter, but this pre-order system works pretty well for him.
Well, he also shows the percentage where his sales come from, and it was 48% of all of it was from distributors. So half of the games he sells, money he makes, all of that is distributors that he's giving games to, and then they distribute them.
Okay.
But 2% was direct sales from his website.
that's crazy.
And
And only like 13% was localizing his games in other parts in the world. So it's a drop in the bucket a little bit.
Wow.
yeah, it's a little crazy that with the direct sales, because direct sales for a publisher are the best, right?
Sure, right.
Because they
full
sell
thing.
for the same price as the other people are selling them, but yeah, they get a much bigger cut of the profit. Anyway, it looks like they're doing well, so congrats to Stonemaier Games. All right, let's talk about some upcoming games here. We have Fountains. This is coming from the Op game. You're going to start with a round fountain and move tokens around. Looks a little abstract.
A little.
It looks okay. I saw it in person with those. You're putting those different pieces around your fountain.
Yeah, it has shared piece movement, so you're moving any one of the three pieces, white, blue, or green there. You have to move it to an empty place, like jump to or whatever, and move it to an empty place, and then you take that piece of fountain. So none of the pieces belong to anyone. You move any one of them. So I like that mechanism. You know, a few games do that. The rest of it, I don't know. It just looks like a bunch of blue water connect things, have the spout pointing this way or that way, score the flowers. I don't know. I like that the mechanism for getting the stuff. After that, I got to play it.
Yeah.
Castle Razors. This is coming from Wonderful World Board Games from Anthony Perone and Liminis Erwan. You are a pig defending your castle from attacking wolves. Not attacking birds, because don't the pigs defend against angry birds?
Yeah. That IP would
Oh,
just
that's different. That's
hammer
a
them on
different.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're always you're always fighting pigs as Angry Birds, right? They're always like pigs in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
castles.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Did you see a Marvelous movie? Never watch it.
a marvelous movie.
The Angry Birds movie is one of the worst
I have
movies
I've
I've
seen
ever
that
seen.
film. Yeah, I've seen it.
How? You don't have kids?
Both have seen it?
How were you tricked into this?
I knew what I was getting into.
Wow.
That's one of my least
I have
favorite
not.
animated movies ever.
Have you seen the Emoji Movie?
No, because I heard about that one.
Mm-hmm. Makes Angry Pigs look like Casablanca.
And you watched it too?
No, I saw like in the first 5 minutes or so, and I'm like, I can't. Why? No, I'm not doing this to myself.
Anyway, you're placing walls here, straddling arcs, and you're trying to make your walls grow taller. It looks kind of cool. You're fighting wolves, pulling wolf tokens from a bag. It almost reminds me a little bit of Castle Panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. It looks interesting. That cover looks quite busy, but I like
lot
what's
going
going
on.
on the board there. More
Another
tiles.
tile from the same company called The Last Lantern, from the same designers too. And they say the publisher says it's a polyomino version of The Mind.
That's what got me. I'm like, really?
You're excited by that?
I don't
prospect.
think so. The Mind was fun to play once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
You played a lot?
Oh, The Mind. No,
No, The
sorry.
Mind.
I'm getting rid of the crew. Right, The Mind.
Oh, no.
Yeah, The Mind.
The
Oh.
Mind.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You're making... Does that have something to do with chocolate? No, I thought that was chocolate for a second. Nope, The Last Lantern. All right.
You're grabbing tiles. You're like revealing them simultaneously. Kind of again like The Mind, trying to cover various things with your polyominoes. I'm assuming it has that limited communication thing like The Mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks very painfully abstract too. I like the idea. This lantern is dying out. You need to make it over there.
Right.
Like thematically, I'm like, ooh, and then I look at the game and what we're doing in it, and I'm suddenly not sure anymore.
And then another game from the same company. This one's from Wei Chang and Quan Chen. This is coming out September, October, and this is Dragonarium. And this is another domino-style thing where you're stacking the tiles on your own board that you then draft. But you will get to move element tokens matching the sides of the tile. So, again, not a ton of information on these so far, but it looks interesting.
That one looks a little more interesting to me, but again, very, very abstract.
Yeah.
Play to Z announced that they were going to be working with Shut Up and Sit Down to do Shut Up and Sit Down Presents line of games. One of the games they announced was Animal Rescue Team, which is a new game from Matt Leacock and Lisa Towle. It's a cooperative game, but it's not quite pandemic, they said. And here you're going to puzzle out perfect rescues of creatures big and small. You can now see some of the boards and components with this. This, they said, originally it was going to be crowdfunded, but instead it's not. It's coming straight to retail September of this year.
So I'm extrapolating here. I looked at the news. I zoomed in on some goodies. I sort of, this is all we've got pretty much. So I was
Right.
trying to parse information from this image. And yeah, the reason this is not quite pandemic is because it seems to be quite Thunderbirds.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I
that's
think this is
interesting.
very close to Thunderbirds. There are vehicles that have different capacities and speeds. You can jump from one to another. Some of you
Oh, I see the vehicles
you
on
have
there now.
Yeah.
you have 3 actions to do things down the side of the board. There, I'm assuming are the coming catastrophes, and if you don't get to them quickly enough, then they come to
Well,
pass.
then you might like this.
I might, yeah. But I'm saying that's what I'm getting here. And again, I'm
That makes
very
sense.
much extrapolating, but this looks to be a small twist on Thunderbirds.
Cool.
So we'll see.
Scott Brady has a new game called Better Letters. Actually, this came out in January 2025. I have not seen this one yet. And you have 60 seconds to write a word that you think will score as many possibles. And you have these different word rule cards that are connected. So you are satisfying the marked rules on the board. I played a game similar to this. I think my wife would like this game, making words. So we'll have to see. In sad news, Van Ryder Games decided to pick up Dragon Clans. This is a game that I have reviewed the Gen X version of. I gave it a 2 out of 10. It's bad. It's
Really?
horrific. I'm sorry. Unbiased news. You are going to be rolling dice to capture stuff that is definitely not Pokemon.
Poké Dragons.
And you roll these dice, and then when you get a certain combination, you can draft an egg out in the middle of the table.
Yeah, yeah.
But people can also just, if you don't roll the right things in dice, you get nothing. You just kind of roll, see what you get. You can re-roll, but you're just trying to roll something. If you get it, you get it. Or if you roll what someone else has, you can steal theirs.
Yeah, in your face.
Love take that.
But if you get two different egg halves and put them together, then you have a special power that may or may not happen. It is so random. It is so bad. And it is such a blatant Pokemon. It just irritates me. You might like it, though.
Idiots.
You got excited?
That's what Tom is thinking.
It's
I'm just
not.
translating.
Here's the thing, though. Van Ryder puts out pretty good stuff.
They do.
So maybe they see something in this game that I do not. So,
Maybe it's getting changed. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Developed.
I've never played it, so I don't know.
All right. Search for a Giant Squid,
Found
the
it.
game. This is coming from Mindware Games. You can play it cooperatively or competitively, where you're going from the surface to the depths to reveal hidden items. You're trying to discover gear.
You were talking about a game that seemed random.
Yeah.
I read the description of this, and from what I read, it sounds like a memory game.
Really?
You take a thing, you look at it, you put it back down, or you if it's one you're looking for, you keep it. If it's one of the ones that matches like a formula you have, or if you find out one of the 5 pieces of the giant squid, you keep that. And when the 5th piece is found, the game's over, and you see how much of your formula you got. I'm like, wait, what?
Really?
It's memory. It's like a memory thing.
I'm also a little worried because the way this game looks and that box cover, this looks like you can buy it at the teacher's educational
Yeah, it
store.
looks very
Yes.
educational theme.
So we'll see.
And it's also from Mindware, so we'll
the
see.
description did not captivate me.
How about Shuffle Dungeons? This is from a new publisher called Zero Strategy Games. I don't think that's the best name for a company. Like, what does that mean?
That means your games are badly thought out. I don't know.
It's better than totally random games.
Maybe not, though.
I know. You're right.
Totally random, at least you sound like, yeah, totally random. This one's more like Zero Strategy. It's worse.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's a negative take on that.
Anyway, it's a cooperative dungeon crawler, and you're going to build the cards as you explore. Very crowded genre, so I hope it's good. But hey, guess what? No strategy.
I like that. It's not true.
The Op is bringing out a version of Sky Huang's Cat Between Us. This came out from Formosa Force Games in 2024. Do you want to know what the cat wants? Try to get as close to the cat as possible without passing it by. So you're drawing cards from a deck and matching numbers. This one has me intrigued. The Op is pretty good with their card game selection. Mm-hmm. And I think they have from last year, they clearly have a bona fide hit with Flip 7.
Yeah.
Flip 7 is going to be
The greatest card game ever.
But I think it's
Yes,
going to sell a million copies. It is that popular.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Like in
I
the
really-
mainstream, too?
I think so. Because one of those games you teach people and they play it.
And then they go and buy one.
Yeah.
I
it really
agree. I
is.
said if it would get that traction because I think it's good enough.
I think it will. So, anyway, there's another game from that company. This one looks more complicated than Flip 7, but not that complicated either. So, that's coming out this year sometime. Another game we have here,
great.
The Office Paper Paranoia.
Keep going.
The Office is one of those shows that seems to be getting more popular now that it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, my kids will talk about it. I'm like, you weren't even
Really?
alive when I watched this.
Really? Okay.
Yes. But I think part of it is the viral clips. There's so many clips of it that you find on the internet
Sure.
all the
and
time.
The memes, yeah.
And you
They're
go
both
back and
Viral.
watch
Viral
it.
is a good way to put it. This is based on another game.
Yeah.
Speaking
yeah.
of viral.
The
This
thing
is a
is-
re- this is a remake.
I played the thing. I'm like, I would like this more if it took place at Dunder Mifflin.
Right. So this is a remake of The Thing, Infection at Outpost 31. Why?
I don't know. I
So
mean,
that's not good for either way, because if you're like, The Thing has a strong theme, I'd be like, maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe it's about paper.
This also looks like they threw a bunch of stuff in a box. This picture, anyway.
Oh,
I agree. And is that even one of the picture on the cover? It's somebody else playing the part of the Office guy, right? So it's not
I
really.
can't tell who that's
It
supposed
looks like
to
Ed
be.
Helms, maybe? But why would they put him on the cover?
That's what I'm wondering.
I could not tell who that is.
All right.
Anyway, the whole thing just no. Okay.
T-Witches. This is from Manny Vega. Manny Vega, best known for designing Flamecraft. Also a really, really nice guy. Zoster has Sandra Tang's artwork, so they're working together again. So this is from the Op, and this looks more complicated than a lot of Op games are. Maybe it's not. Your tea vendors, you're serving lines of witches to gain their loyalty. This is coming out at Gen Con 2025. You're going to collect powerful upgrades, attract celebrities, and brew up special teas with bonus abilities. Clever teapup placement can also help you. Anyway, I'm going to stop.
Hurts
A
me.
teapup is an animated teapot crossbred with a cute animal with who cares about anything else, because that is just there to sell the game.
And it will sell.
Teapups. Stuffed teapups are going to be for sale at the
It's
booth.
disgusting. Stop saying that. I'll tell you, I was mentioning this earlier, that I'm on board with this whole cozy, cutesy, naturey stuff, and I've realized now what my line is, and it's tea things. It really is. I'm like, that's when you go too far. You give me like, we're sitting around bundling up under a blanket, arranging books. I'm good with all of that until the tea comes out, and I'm like, I get it. Stop. Just let me kill something. You brew, and then the thing, and then a spot of milk, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. The cozy thing goes right out the window for me at that point. That's my line, I guess. Who knew?
Now, if this was coffee witches, you'd be in?
Yeah, more so.
I
Tea is a
know.
little more pretentious, just slightly more.
Thank you.
All right, Synapsis Games, speaking of Gen Con, is going to be releasing the second edition of Yokohama Duel.
Let's go.
This was
more
first released in 2018,
duels.
and I don't think anyone played it back then because I didn't even hear of it. But hey, now it's going to be very popular because duels.
That's right.
Then we have Up or Down. This is from Capstone. Well, actually, it's originally Abacus Spiel.
Yeah.
Came out at S, and I don't think we got that copy, although I feel like I've seen that box.
I've seen that
the top left.
box.
This
But I've never played this.
This is how you upgrade a cover.
Do you get on that
It
elevator?
looks good. No.
You'd be like, oh, wait.
There's no chance. Do you love when you're in an elevator and it's full and it opens up and you see a guy and you both give the look and he's like, I can fit. And then in the elevator, I was like,
I was
That
thinking more along
happened
the lines.
a
you
couple
think one of
times
those
in
people's a
Vegas.
demon.
did it?
One of those people's a demon, I think.
Yeah, the elevator's going
Yeah.
to break down, and the devil's in there with you.
Anyway, this is now the third
M. Night
tallest
Shyamalan.
building in the world.
He brings out tea.
I like this. They decided to pick the third tallest building in the world. So it's not the Burj Khalifa, or the Shanghai Tower. What is the third tallest tower in the world?
That would be...
Sears.
Anyway, it's 126
No, it's,
stories. Anyway, you're putting a card
Publix.
that between the two closest cards, and you draft one of those cards.
What
blah,
is
blah,
it?
blah. Shanghai Tower.
Tom. Shanghai Tower, you dummy. Everybody knows that.
Thank you.
So you get up in there, right, in the elevator, and then what happens?
It flies up there.
Go up or down? What?
You're playing cards, and you have to place cards. Sounds like a more complicated version of the Five Alive, or
Yeah, it's like it's Wolfgang Kramer, right, and Michael Kiesling. So it's going to be. It kind of sounds a little bit like another version of, Six Nimmt or whatever.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right, Panasaurus is going to be releasing a new version of Kramer's 2005 game Hacienda, which I don't believe I ever played that one.
Really?
I think I might have played it. It's hard to remember.
This one I have played.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's been ages since I played, and this is a cute looking edition of that. There's a capybara in it, so
Yeah,
I'm in.
Panasaurus does a pretty good job on this stuff. Also, Incredible Dreams. Kinfire Council is now out. It was crowdfunded. We talked about that, but it's coming
Yes.
soon to you. I saw the pretty much final version at Gamma a couple weeks ago, and it looks really good. It looks
Right.
pretty hefty, but I love this universe a lot. And the last two games that these guys have come out with in the Kinfire series are good. But be warned, I think this one is very different.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
Is this going to go the founders of Gloomhaven way, or is it not?
That's what
quite?
I'm worried about, honestly. I really am, because it's so different of a game style.
Right.
Uses that same setting, uses those characters in a completely different kind of game. I'm cautiously optimistic here. I do want to check it out because they've done amazing work so far.
Yeah.
Party
Oh,
Panda
hey.
Pirates came out from Detestable Games in 2024, and in 2025 it's coming out in English. Your goal is to, I'm not going to read the script here. What this game is you are playing a bunch of really, really, really bad party games, like throwing cards or stacking dice and things.
Throwing cards is a pretty good party game.
But you then, that's stacked on top of a really, really bad roll and move section at the top. But that is offset by, in the middle, there's a really, really bad dexterity game where you drop things in that ship and they may or may not fly off the mat and you have no control over them. But the art's
So what
cool.
you're saying is it's really, really, really bad.
Do you like this game?
No, I give it like a 2.
Now is a good time to mention we played it here on the channel, so you can feel free to watch it.
Well, you played
Decide for yourself.
I played with my kids, and I thought this would be like right
You
up
did
their
play with your
alley,
kids.
and they hated it.
All of them?
Yes,
Even Jimmy?
yes,
Wow.
And I hated it.
even Z.
He did.
But hey, it's coming out in English, so check it out. Vantage, we mentioned this earlier from Stonemaier Games. This is coming your way. This is, what did he call this? It's not a
The game to end all games.
No, he did not. But this is all they showed at GAMA. In fact, I'm surprised this picture exists because I was told not to take pictures. But anyhow,
Just taken by those Ray-Bans.
yeah, maybe. But anyway, there was a big. You're like exploring a world and going through it. You're all like dropped on this world in different spots. You can go back and replay it. It's not legacy. It's not campaign. It's more like I remember stuff from a previous game situation. I think.
Well, he said, I mean, this is what I've heard, is that it is a... I was kind of being, tongue-in-cheek about the game to end all games, but isn't it supposed to be, like, monstrously large and encompassing?
It is, but I mean,
It's like thousands of cards or something like that.
There's a lot in it. But that box is not particularly huge. I want to say, it's like it's Ticket to Ride-esque. I think it might be a little bit thicker than that.
Yeah, I just heard it was like, wow, he's making this game that has so much variety in it that you'll basically never be able to play anything else if you don't have to ever play another game if you don't want to, kind of thing.
I am excited about it.
I am excited too. He's a good designer. I always get scared when a game overpromises like this.
Right.
When it's like, oh, this game, you're going to forget other games exist when this one comes out. I'm always a little cautious about that sort of, touting those levels of innovation.
Yeah.
All right, Pegasus Spiel is going to bring out Word Colony.
Let's go. I've been waiting on this.
Wait, don't we have this? We have this game actually right now.
Oh,
It just came in.
I've been waiting.
You sucker. It's on your
Oops.
desk in 2 seconds.
Nah, I meant Advantage.
There's questions, people vote on the answer, and then it's kind of a mix between making words and trivia. Kind of interested in it. But what I'm really interested in is our next piece of news here.
Oh?
And that is Final Score Games. So Final Score Games is the third company started by Sophie Gavel, who originally started a game Philosophia, or company Philosophia, which bought they have different things underneath them. She
They
bought
bought
Z-Man
Games, right?
And then her company did so well, she sold it to Asmodee. Asmodee did not write the contract very strongly, so within like a year, she started another company called Plan B, which produced a game called Azul and sold millions of copies. And did so well that she sold it to Asmodee again.
Wow.
She waited another year. Actually, this one's like 2 years. Asmodee's like, calm down. This is her third company here, Final Score. I'm assuming this is the last company for her. But their first game is Ink, and I got to tell you, it looks fantastic. I hope it's as good as it looks. It's from Casper Lapp, who has designed Magic Maze, That's Not a Hat, Fun Facts, Gods Love Dinosaurs. So kind of a mix of games we like and don't like.
Yeah.
It's coming out. It's being released at the Cannes Festival, and it's going to be here summer of this year, so probably a Gen Con release. All the pieces, the cover looks great. Maybe all the games from this company will be 3 letters instead of Next Move, where they were 4.
Ooh, okay.
Ink. Then of course,
Lot.
what's that company? Handy Games gonna be like, we already did them.
Yeah, he's like, I got this corner, this marker.
Does
corner.
he have a game called Ink?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does he really?
Yes.
Well, he's used most of the 3-letter words.
That's true.
Okay.
There's only so many combinations.
Anyway, I'm kind of excited about this. We'll see.
It's an interesting theme. You ever play Holy? The other festival color one?
Yes.
The 2 levels, right?
Yeah,
It's
that
the
was
2
kinda
levels.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, then we're going to go real quick here. Awaken Realms announces every year kind of a bunch of new stuff that they're doing. This is a lot of big announcements.
It's
So
a
I kind of
lot.
look at the year ahead, right?
Yeah. But there's not a lot of information about them, so we're kind of guessing.
There we go. I got you.
Dragon Eclipse: The Grand Quest. If
You guys just played
watched us-
Dragon Eclipse.
Yeah, this is more Dragon Eclipse, a
Let's
standalone
go.
sequel.
What we want.
Done.
Yeah, so Dragon Eclipse has
Big box.
more stuff coming. Then we have Below, Below, the Asylum.
Let's go. Done. Boom.
That's
Yes, I'm
good.
playing that today.
That does look kind of cool, right?
It looks
Those are
awesome. Are you
good.
kidding me? That guy's covered by cats.
I just said there's too many cats.
I'm in.
Then we have Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon for PC.
Oh, is that?
Oh, it's a video
Wait,
game.
what?
PC Games Collector's Edition. I don't know.
I'm in. Let's go.
Exclusive content, a steel book, art book. I don't know. More stuff coming. And this one surprised me. This War of Mine, 2nd edition. Have you ever wanted to cry playing a board game? And I'm not being facetious here.
Yes.
You want to play this War of Mine. It is a sad
I heard this one
game.
was a lot cheerier.
Yeah, that cover's really brilliant. So this War of Mine, if you never played it, you are basically a group of survivors in a war-torn country, and you are just surviving. And unfortunately, you are doing so by any means necessary. Like, I played the video
Wow.
game one time. There's a video game and a board game, but I played them both. And I needed food. I was starving, so I went in the house, and I found some food, and an old guy tried to stop me, and I killed him and ate the food. And then I died of depression because of what I had done.
Wow.
That is a smidgen of what the game is like.
You died of depression?
Wow.
Like, you kind of just sit in a corner and you're just like, what have I done type thing. You can get depressed in the game, yes.
That's what food is for.
Do they have like a T expansion to make everybody happier?
No,
Yeah.
it's pretty. It is a pretty grim game. It's
It is
also the game
incredibly
that
grim,
put
yes.
Awaken Realms on the map.
Yeah.
Wow. Whew.
This next one, though,
That's
I was surprised by 2 things they announced. This is the first of 2 surprises. Labyrinth Chronicles.
I know.
Like,
Okay.
Labyrinth has been out and has probably sold 1 million copies.
That's the thing. I have not played this, by the way. Somehow
Ever
I've
played
avoided it.
Labyrinth, any of them?
No,
It's a
that's-
great little game. It's a good family game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically you're just sliding rows and columns and then moving your guy as far as you can, and then you just have different targets you need to get to. That's the game.
Oh,
Super good
I have a
family game.
Mario version of it.
really?
Yes.
They have themes for all kinds of stuff.
So Awaken Realms is like, how can we Awaken Realms this thing? So, first of all,
3D walls.
yeah, 3D.
It's gonna look good.
And a theme, and I guess it's a story now. There's like Chronicles. Does that mean legacy or just a campaign? or-
Uncover the secrets. That's
Yeah,
all
who
we
knows?
know.
Who knows?
But I am really interested in this one. Then I knew this was coming because they showed me part of it at Essen. They have the new Agricola Special Edition. This is the 3rd in their big series. They've already done Castle of Burgundy, Puerto Rico, which is probably shipping soon.
Yeah.
And then Agricola. This is the 3rd one. And this is one this is an exciting one because Agricola has so many things that could be upgraded, and
Yeah.
it's all going to be in this one box. So that's exciting.
Those people look too cheery, like too
They
alive.
do. Misery Farm, it is not. But in case you felt that way,
Oh.
this is the one that everyone thought was an April Fool's joke, and that is Agricola Dead Harvest.
I'm
So-
all over this. I am all over this.
This is so great.
Let's
Zombies
go.
have taken over, but the harvest must go on. So this reimagines the farming classic with intense survival mechanics, forcing players to defend their crops against the undead.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Get away from my pumpkins.
Now, this one is not being crowdfunded on GameFound until 2026, so calm down for those excited about it.
I'm really
The other one's,
excited.
the regular Agricola is coming this year to GameFound, so that's the one to think about.
I'm going to hold out for a feast for brains.
It could come, you know.
I'm going to hold out for that.
And then finally, and we saw this at World Series of Board Gaming last year, but they finally announced it officially, the Lost Ruins of Arnak Adventure Chest. So this is a storage box for everything Arnak, and an expansion, and a bunch of other stuff. And when we saw it, it was essentially the size of Lost Ruins of Arnak, but twice as deep.
Okay.
So they said very specifically, this is going to have a limited print run, and they're taking pre-orders, well, now, for the rest of this month. So they don't plan to keep this game in stock forever. They're just going to make it, sell it to people who want it, and that's it. So keep that in mind. This could also be FOMO and stuff. I do want to do a small aside here. What a cover.
Right?
I love that cover so much.
Pretty stunning.
That's what it should be.
Without the Lost Ruins of Arnak, I'd put that on the wall, and even with the name, I might do it. I like it a ton.
Yeah, it's something else.
It's the way big box should be. Zoomed out, kind of shows what it is. Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. That is all of the news for this week. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in just a bit with our live 4 Coins RPG. Ooh. And we'll see you with lots more videos over the rest of this weekend. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Joe Evans.
Thanks to Mike DeLisia for putting the news together. We'll see you next time. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vassell.